The COVID-19 pandemic has affected all small businesses in the U.S. Virgin Islands, but there is help to move your business forward. The Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center is available to assist entrepreneurs and small businesses. The VISBDC is the territory's #1 resource for small businesses and is sustained by the University of the Virgin Islands and the U.S. Small Business Administration. The VISBDC is nationally accredited and provides one-on-one advising, business education training, and technical assistance at no cost. Attend workshops by experts from both the public and private sectors. From idea generation to exit strategies, the staff at the VISBDC are ready to assist you. So don't wait. Call, email, or visit them on the web at www.visbdc.org and Facebook, or simply download their mobile app on the Apple or Google Play Store. Just search VISBDC. Discover how they can help your business grow and succeed.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the VISBDC's customer service webinar entitled Don't Lose Another Customer. Today, we are in collaboration with certified Maxwell leadership professionals as they guide the audience to useful customer service tips for employees, interns, volunteers, managers, and small business owners alike. Let me introduce today's speakers. Jacqueline Ruan is a certified Maxwell Leadership Team speaker, trainer, and transformational coach. She is the founder of Project Excellence, a personal and professional development company. Project Excellence's motto is daring to go beyond the boundaries, and its focus is assisting small businesses and organizations in the community to up-level their brand through its signature customer service training, leadership workshops, and seminars, along with other exclusive services tailored to fit any business or organization's specific needs. Mrs. Ruan moved to St. Thomas quite a few years ago to attend college, but she fell in love with her soulmate and stayed. They have been married for over 24 years and have 2 beautiful daughters, Lorica and Diamond. When she is not helping businesses, you can find Mrs. Ruan living out her passion for service by giving back to her community. Every April and October, she speaks to young people in local schools and youth organizations through a Maxwell leadership program called the Global Youth Initiative. Mrs. Ruan has also traveled with her fellow Maxwell leadership team members to lead transformation in different countries such as Costa Rica and the Dominican Republic. She also enjoys just being curled up somewhere at home, reading a good book, enjoying music, or spending time with her family. We also have Ms. Donnelly Edwards-Cavey. Donnelly is the founder and CEO of Leaders Inspired LLC, established in 2017. She is a Maxwell Leadership Program executive. She is a certified trainer, consultant, and a growth, mindset, and transition coach, helping individuals, businesses, and organizations go further faster towards crushing the goals and objectives which they have set for themselves. She is also a Maxwell DISC behavioral trainer. Additionally, as a certified brain health and neuroencoding trainer and coach, she helps businesses and individuals to understand how their habits and psychological wiring can affect how they make choices as consumers and business providers. She can be reached at leadersinspired43@gmail.com or at the several social media avenues shared at the end of this presentation. Just a friendly reminder to put your questions in the chat, and they will be addressed either by the presenting team in the chat or later during the question and answer segment. A copy of the presentation will not be available, but you can definitely refer to this webinar being on our YouTube channel at a later time. We encourage you to take a few minutes after this training to fill out the survey that lets us know how we are doing. So without further ado, ladies, the floor is yours.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. And thank you so much, Mrs. Phillips. We want to thank SBDC for the opportunity to share with our community the services that we are offering that can help them grow their businesses. And I'll just let my colleagues say a quick good morning and we will get right into it.
Good morning, everyone. Donnelly Edwards-Cavey here. It's such a pleasure to see all of you this morning, and we're excited about this customer service training. It is something that we think that we have in common with many people, really just trying to enlarge and create excellent customer service, not only here in the Virgin Islands, but nationally and around the world. And so whatever you gain from this, we hope that you take it, apply it, and make your business better. So thank you so much.
Right. So as we said, we're very excited that you have joined us to this short webinar featuring just a few tips, whether it's to jumpstart your customer service or to do a customer service evaluation. This webinar could also very well be a reminder of a few things that you should be doing to retain your customers. So we can't wait to get started. So why don't we just do that? All right, so let's jump right in. Focus on the fit. Now, let me just start by saying this. Not everyone is going to love your product or service, and that's okay. To find your people, it's your job to clearly define the problems you excel at solving and evaluate how each potential client could benefit from what you have to offer. Think of it this way. Starbucks is a hugely successful company, but not everyone is going to be excited at the idea of paying $5 for a specialty cup of coffee. Some people want to just go to a gas station for a cup of coffee that costs $1 or even make one from home. But remind yourself that what you have to offer might not be for everyone, but there is a clientele. So focus on that clientele, focus on them. So let's define what success means to your customer. So customer success is about how successful you make your customers in achieving their goals. This is mostly proactive on your part. And customer satisfaction is how satisfied a customer is with your product or your services. This is primarily reactive because at this point, you are focusing on fixing problems. Salespeople, on the other hand, they may celebrate when they make a sale, but the customer only celebrates when they get the results they are looking for. Consider this from the perspective of, let's say, a hairstylist. When a customer makes an appointment and sits down in a hairstylist chair, you can pretty much count, or the hairstylist can pretty much count on their money. But the customer is not satisfied until they see the results. And then that will determine if they're going to return or not. Just like a hairstylist would discuss what the client needs or wants in terms of a hairstyle, you should also have a detailed discussion with your clients about what defines success to them. You might even say something like this: what can we do to make sure we have reached a high-five worthy moment? Then a very important aspect is follow-up. Keep your customers happy. And you can do this by following up with them on a consistent basis, not today and then maybe next month or next year, but consistently set time in your schedule, put it on your calendar when you're going to follow up with your customers. Every time they use our service or they make a purchase, follow up with them. You know what this will do? This will build relationship and it will also inspire loyalty. You have more than likely received a text or email from a company that you regularly frequent and do business with. And they might have been asking you for your feedback or your experience. This is because reaching out to customers will keep that company or your company at the top of their mind, and it also keeps your products and services and your client at the top of your mind. And this shows that you care about their experience and opinion. So here are some creative ways to follow up. You can just write some in the chat that you think about, but here's some that we can share with you. And please feel free to share in the chat. Here's some creative ways. One, you can send a warm welcome message. You can send a thank you message after purchase, or you can use the autoresponder method to send informational emails, etc. You can offer help by sharing additional products and services at a discount, and send a survey. Find out how you're doing and find out what people are saying about you and your business. Plan events such as giveaways, contests, and so forth. And also you can include links to your social media profile. So those are just some creative ways to follow up. I'm sure there are many more, and maybe you have shared some in the chat already. All right, make good use of social media. And I know, sometimes social media can seem to be like a hit or miss. Some of you might be afraid of it, but it's nothing to be afraid of. Social media is actually a fantastic tool for businesses in several ways. And you might say, okay, I'm not too familiar with how to navigate some of these social media apps, but don't worry, if you're like me, then you know what I do? I go to my daughters and I say, listen, I need help with this. Sometimes they help me out a lot. Sometimes they're like, mommy, but that's okay. That's okay. Just learn a little at a time and make good use of the social media apps. So it offers you an opportunity to engage with customers by answering questions and providing information. Now, it is your chance to build trust by giving your brand a voice. And it would be a voice that people can relate to, or it should be a voice that people can relate to. Social media can also be used for advertising, promotional giveaways, and for the mobile opportunities. I can guarantee you that if someone is hearing about your business or company, or your company for the very first time, the first thing that they're going to do, they might type in your name in a search engine. And then along with your website and Yelp, the next thing that should come up is either your Instagram or your Facebook page. Now, if you don't have either, this can kind of make your business look lazy or irrelevant, and we don't want that. So as much as you might be scared of it or you're not too sure how to navigate it, there are courses all around YouTube, and you can try and just master one thing at a time. So let's do a quick poll, and please feel free to just jot your answers in the chat. How many of you have a Facebook page for your business? And I can raise my hand, I do. I am working on it to make it better, but I do. What about Twitter and Instagram? Now, I love Instagram, so I'm mostly on that, but I do as well. So how often do you update your information? That's something that we need to work on consistently. And please make sure that you're sharing, because we can all learn from each other. So you can share in the chat if you have these things, or if you haven't started yet, but from today, and you realize the importance of it, you are going to do that. All right, so as we move on, another tip is to offer a sympathetic ear and help problem solve. People know that when it comes to business, issues come up and things can go wrong. Most people are willing to look past this, you know, they might forgive you a little bit, as long as companies take the time and the effort and communicate, okay? And they try to resolve the issue the best way they can. When problems arise, be sure that you talk to your employees and train them how to speak to customers. Not just speak to them, but speak to them with understanding and speak to them with sympathy. Whenever possible, address issues face-to-face or with a call, because not everyone likes to deal with texting. And guess what? Most times when you're texting, something is lost in the texting. The meanings can be misconstrued, misunderstandings can happen. So it's best that you speak to the person in person, face-to-face, or over the phone, because the digital options give room for misunderstanding. And also, people like to speak with another person, especially when they're frustrated. And we all know that. I'm sure that you have had these things happen to you before. And if you have, you can share a quick story in the chat so we can know. If you haven't, well, I'm so happy for you. But the tip is, when you have a problem, work on fixing it right away. admit it, address it, and speak to the person face to face as much as possible. And encourage interaction and feedback. People want to spend their money with a business that value them. So take the time to ask for feedback whenever possible. One way to do this is by scouting out people's, what they're saying online, and also look on Yelp, and as I said before, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Take these comments in stride. Don't get angry. You know what? Even if somebody's saying something negative, you can turn it around and flip it and check and see, am my business meeting the needs of the people in this area? Don't get angry, because actually, even from negative feedback, you can get better. All right? Please respond with maturity and with the customer is always right mindset. And if you don't already, consider sending out a satisfaction survey to your customers after they've used your service or purchased something from you. Taking this extra step to interact with your customers shows that you're engaged with them and that you're looking for ways to improve. And people would appreciate that. They can say, you know what, my first experience might not have been the best, but I can see their effort, and so I'm going to go back. I'm going to return, and that's exactly what you want. Take responsibility. Now, this is vital. Accept full responsibility. Your brand is your reputation, and your reputation is everything, okay? One of the worst things you can do as a company is to shift blame back onto the customer or try to dodge responsibility altogether. If a customer has had a bad experience with your company, acknowledge that fact. Acknowledge that your business played a role in causing frustration to your customer. Own up to anything that you have done wrong on your end and offer something to mend the bad blood. All right, most importantly, apologize, apologize, apologize. Apologize, admit you're wrong and apologize. And this will let customers see that you're willing to correct faulty issues and prevent future mistakes. If you look at the slide, you'll see that I have just some quick tips. And this is something you just want to keep around you, maybe on your desk, on your wall. Accept full responsibility, number one. Number two, say you're sorry. And number three, show empathy and support. Number four, investigate and report. And number five, extend compensation. If you have other ways that you think that you can show responsibility, you can jot them down and put them in the chat for all of us to learn from. All right, so another important one, respond ASAP, as soon as possible. Research shows that customers expect a response to concerns in 24 hours or less. Really, some research surveys and some research says 5 hours, within 5 hours, but they'll even go as far as 24 hours. If your company takes too long to respond to a question, a dilemma, or even a compliment, you'll come off as lazy, inefficient, don't care, okay? So set time each day to address calls, emails, and social media inquiries. It's worth it. A fast response prevents negative reviews and feedback. Even a few negative reviews, remember I said this already, even a few negative reviews can harm your business. Even one can harm your business. A fast response in the eyes of customers sets your business apart as being different. Because you make them feel valued and happy, they will return. And it makes you stand out, and people will see that you not only you're different, but you're somebody that they want to do business with. And that will certainly inspire loyalty. All right, so as we move on, another important part, and I know this might sound obvious and it sounds pretty silly, and it's a very small thing, but many companies don't do this. Say thank you. It's a simple but very powerful gesture that can lay a foundation for your clients and for your business. And it can improve your reputation. Build, make, improve your reputation. Showing appreciation builds goodwill with the people in your community. Customers love to feel appreciated, especially if they just spent their hard-earned money with you. You know this because you have been a customer at one point in your life, or you're still a customer, or you will be a customer. And nothing makes you feel better than when the company recognizes you. Maybe you receive something in the mail saying thank you, or you receive a little complimentary gift. I remember going to the perfume store in the mall, and boy, they show their appreciation by throwing in little samples. My heart lights up when I get the little samples and when they say thank you. I know you feel the same way. So do that for your customers. Make them feel special. Make them feel valued. Okay, so you also have, if you're an online store, you can do this by sending a thank you note or including a thank you note when they're checking out. And you can also send a separate thank you email. Now, even if they don't open the email, they'll see the subject line and associate in their minds that your company values customer appreciation. And saying thank you builds your brand reputation as a good customer or good business to do business with. Okay, so that is very much important. Say thank you. I know it sounds silly, but it is very important. All right. Remember, customer service is everything. Can I say that again? And just a little louder. Customer service is everything. All right. Let's see what the experts say about customer service and loyalty. Research shows that 70% of buying experiences are based on how the customer feels about the company. Additionally, after one negative experience, 51% of people shared about a poor service experience, or 51% of customers, they will never do business with that company again after a poor performance or poor experience, right? And then this is very important. Americans tell an average of 15 people about a poor customer service experience, but they only share a good customer service experience with about 11 people, an average of 11 people. So what's the takeaway here? The takeaway here is that losing a single customer can be costly. So your primary focus should be keeping your customers happy. Good customer service creates a positive experience to everyone, which can result in repeat business and the all-important, the gold in business, referrals. Referrals, referrals, referrals. But people are only going to refer if they have had a good experience with your company. It is said that 96% of businesses will fail within 10 years. And one of the contributing factors is a bad customer service experience. So if that is so important, then that means that this is something you really need to spend a lot of time on. Let's take a quick look at a couple of examples of how to handle common situations that can take your customer service up a notch. So I'm going to do one and then I'm going to turn it over to my colleague. So suppose in your business, your employee needs to transfer the customer. Something has happened and the employee cannot handle the problem at the time and they need to transfer to someone, okay? There isn't a single consumer out there who likes hearing, please hold while we transfer you. Your call is very important to us. If you're like me, you would do so. Because you know, first it might come a long wait, then you might be transferred to this person, then that person, then the other person, okay? And the problem is that most businesses don't bother to explain or tell the the customer or client why they're transferring them and how they're going to help them. Okay, they don't seek to help the customer understand why they're being transferred. So what I want you to look at your screen, you'll see I have 2 responses. Jot down in the chat which one you think is the better response. Okay, which one you think is the better response? Response 1 is, my apologies, but I'm going to have to transfer your call to Department XYZ. That's response 1. Then response 2 says, let's get this problem resolved for you. I am going to transfer you to our specialist who is the best suited person to answer your question. Now, which one do you think is the best? Which one would you like to hear when you call someone and you hear that you're going to be transferred? Which one would you choose? You can just jot that down in the chat. Well, if I were you, I would have chosen response 2. Okay, because in response 2, once I've heard that, it tells me that, wow, I am so important that they're not just going to fumble with me. They are going to send me to the resident expert, and my call is, and my needs are so important that they're sending me to an expert, they're transferring me to an expert, and knowing that the representative who is telling me that they're going to transfer me, they have my problem in mind. They really want my problem to be solved. And it is very reassuring to me. Okay, so this is not typically the response that most companies use. And if you are one of the companies that typically use response 1, well, I know that from today, you're not going to use response 1. Response 2, let's get this problem resolved for you. I am going to transfer you to our resident expert or to our specialist who is best suited to answer your question. That is the response you want to give. It builds reassurance. It builds, it gives the customer peace of mind. It makes them relax and not move to the next step, which is anger, or even the worst thing, hang up and never do business with you again. So this is just one way of doing a great customer service experience, knowing what is bad and what is good. I'm going to turn it over to my colleague now, who will pick up with another one.
Hi, everyone. What did you put in the chat? Come on, I've been looking at the chat and I don't see a lot of activity going on there. What did you put in the chat for that one? You know, and I really want that we keep this real, and we are being real. All of us have had customer service experiences that, let's say, for want of a diplomatic term, has left a lot to be desired. And so we know that we are talking about real things here. What happens when you go into a store, whether it's a brick and mortar or not, or you are online and you're going to purchase that item? You have it in your basket, and then guess what? The item is not available. What happens when an item is not available? And yes, no store owner, whether they're e-commerce or brick and mortar, likes to tell a customer that an item is not currently available. Fortunately, there is a much better way to go about it. One of the most important skills that you can acquire in interacting with customers is the use of positive language to avoid that accidental knee-jerk reaction. When persons tell me, hold a minute, or they're going to transfer me, or it's not available, my mind starts playing tricks. It's like, why is it not available? You're in business. Yes, we know since COVID, we know a lot more about supply chain and distribution problems with supply chains. But here is an example. Let's say a customer contacts you with an interest in a particular product, but the product happens to be back ordered until next month. Without positive language, your response could be a poor choice. So there are two responses. Like in the first scenario, the person might say to you, I can't get you that product until next month. It's back ordered and it's unavailable at this time. How did that leave you feeling? Or the second choice, using positive language to replace that negative phrase of I can't, and instead place emphasis on the solution, which is really what the customer cares about. Remember, our customers are totally self-interested. They really don't care about you in that sense. So the second more appropriate response might be to say to that customer, that product will actually be available next month. I can place the order for you right now and make sure that it's sent to you as soon as it reaches our warehouse. Which one of those responses do you think the customer would most appreciate? I would dare to think that response number 2 might be the one that gets the customer's attention much more. It dials down the angst that was created by, thank you so much. I see Gemini saying number 2, absolutely. I think the second one for sure would be the one that gets the customer saying, there is hope. This is not just a business that's probably going out of business soon and trying to get their stocks off and they're not restocking. Okay, so number 2, and then you see how you rephrased it using positive psychology. Most customers are reasonable people, but they're also busy people. So if you don't have a solution to their problems, they're gonna quickly go somewhere else. So your window for being proactive is relatively short. And so let's move on. So there's also the one where the customer makes a request. And how do you handle also customer loyalty? I'm not in control of the slides, so if we could have the next slide, please.
I apologize. The next slide is up. I'm not sure. It's probably internet. I'm not sure why it's not coming through.
So then we were looking at customer loyalty. So when we talk about customer loyalty, it is critical that you want the customer to, you want to retain your customers. That's your lifeblood. That's what keeps you in business. And it's critical for you not only to retain your customers, but also to build brand loyalty. How do you best do that? In many ways, you have to find ways to improve customer engagement, and you also have to find ways to improve the customer experience. We have found that it is anywhere from 5 to 25 times more expensive to acquire a new customer than it is to keep your current customer. So treat your customers with loyalty. Make your customers happy when they are engaged with you. And give your existing customers special offers and keep them up to date with promotions, keep them in the know. You know, we love as people to feel we're in the know. Yes, something was just launched and it's in my inbox as soon as they press launch on their social media profiles. And so I know because I'm a loyal customer to that company. And so in many ways, you can also, if there's a new item or other exciting news, breaking news at the company, you want to know. Loyal customers have a right to know. And so you can either share the good news via social media or a texting service that your customers can opt into. Another idea is to encourage your customers to add you on their social media pages. Perhaps you could do this in exchange for a small discount or a free gift, and you can post information on your social media. And then for customers who visit you regularly, maybe make them VIP customers. Consider something like a punch card. You know, in many stores you go in and you can input your phone number and it cues your rewards. It says, I've been to this business, mostly eating places, 4 or 5 times in the last month. And when I get to 6, I will get a free slice of pizza. Most corporate companies offer some kind of reward program. Think about your department stores, even drugstores, makeup boutiques, clothing stores. You get the picture. Your supermarkets and fast food restaurants, they all offer some kind of customer service loyalty, some kind of customer service reward, so that those programs provide an incentive for your customers to keep spending more money by offering them some kind of reward. And it creates that positive, you know, we call that positive feedback loop that anyone can get on board with. And you're solidifying your brand as well. So then the other thing that you want to do is to highlight your customer experience. Show off your awesome customer service by highlighting how well you do business. Did someone come to your restaurant celebrating a birthday, for instance? Wow, this is a great opportunity to treat them to a little gift and perhaps to snap a picture with them, with your staff, taking a picture with them possibly. You know, you provided maybe a small birthday cake, lit the cake, made a big deal of it. And you might, with their permission, post that picture on Facebook. Or you might have been asked to raise public awareness in this month of breast cancer awareness, in this month of domestic violence awareness. Many of our businesses are also being responsible corporate business partners. They're demonstrating that, hey, I'm a part of this community. These are concerns and issues that I also, as a business brand, I'm also on for developing a cure or creating strategies against violence. And so you then have an opportunity as a business person to thank the person who brought these issues to your attention. Just remember, everybody loves a little attention. So just be sure to ask permission. If you're going to be posting things with person's image, just remember to ask permission about posting that image online. And then, can you then, particularly those of you in the audience and those of you could answer in the chat, can you think of a time when you or someone you know was featured on a business, on their social media page or something like that? How did that make you feel? Did you feel like star for a day? I'm sure you possibly did, particularly if it's a business that you really like their values and their brand, and you want to be associated with them as well. So after this webinar, we are challenging you to visit the social media pages of a few of your favorite businesses and see how they highlight their customer service experience, if they did or not, because some don't. And we want you as the businesses here present and watching the replay, we want you to be the businesses that are responsive, that are proactive. So one of the other things that, as we give you some more tips of how to enhance your customer service as businesses, one of the things that we all have to do is to listen up. Listen, listen, listen. Remember, Grandma always said, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. As a business, that can stand you in good stead as well. So absolutely, you can contact us after the presentation, and we will share our contact information in the details to follow. So to show your business, your customers and potential clients that you are listening. Always, if you have an encounter with your clients and your customers, play back for them what you think you heard them saying or asking you for. When you do this, it demonstrates that you are listening, you are connecting with them, and your follow-up questions will help them to see that, hey, they really are listening to me. They get me. These are my people. I'm part of their tribe. And so when customers share their story with you, even if it's not positive, remember, they are not insulting you. They are teaching you how to make your product or your service much, much better. And isn't that what we want? We are in business, yes. We want to have the financial advantage, but we also want to improve our service and our product. So that, in other words, even if you're given feedback or that dreaded C word, criticism, that's not necessarily constructive, tell yourself, and by all means, business owner, tell your employees to spin this information in a way that will help you to get better as a business. Because listening to your customers is not just hearing about their problems, it is actually connecting with them. It's all about paying close attention to their needs and understanding how you can help them to achieve their goals and objectives. Because when you listen to your customers' feedback, you are instinctively providing that window to manage customer service, customer experiences. And you're also showing that you care about customer satisfaction. And you're also, by your actions, fueling customer loyalty. And it's an opportunity for you to improve your products and services much more, because listening is critically important. And I stress that over and over again because it's one of those things. Oh my goodness. Okay, so thank you. I thought for a moment. Yes. Okay. Customer churn. What are we talking about when we talk about customer churn? Always keep an eye on customer churn. A customer churn rate, you hear this a lot in business circles. The churn rate is that measure of the number of customers or employees who leave a company during a given time. These are the people who leave, for whatever reason. The customer churn rate can also refer to the amount of revenue you lose as a result of the departures of customers and employees. Changes in a business's churn rate can also provide valuable insight into how well that organization is doing or not. In other words, the churn rate shows how your business is doing with keeping customers, loyal customers by your side. And then finding a way to keep up, not just with the individual customer or with the individual sale, but also with the individual customer as well. Many businesses do this by tracking the email addresses at the store or the phone numbers that gets inputted when customers do business with you. And then they're able to use that same data to show when their business is waning, when that pocket of customers have not done business with them over an extended period of time. And like me, you probably know these people are watching your movements and you're like, how did they know I haven't visited them? That's when you get a lot of coupons in the mail. Hey, we miss you. We would love to welcome you back. Yeah, you have not been spending with that brand or that store, that company. And so it is really, it is as much as customer churn is critical also because it shows you how much you're spending in attracting new customers versus how much you're spending to continue to engage with the old ones. And it said that sometimes it's as much as 7 times more expensive for a company to obtain new customers than it is to service their existing customers. So that is very important to focus on retaining your customers rather than putting everything and all of your energies into acquiring new customers. And I know you're wondering, how far are they going to go with this? We want to engage much more. We hope that this has been a very interactive, but also very positive experience for you in this webinar. So we want to congratulate you. You made it through this webinar. We hope that you have found it useful. As a neuroencoding specialist, I would encourage you, put your hand in the air, bend forward, put your hands on your back, and give yourself a pat. If you have done nothing else productive on this Wednesday morning, you had an incredible webinar on improving your customer service in your business and in your organization. So we want to be the first to commend you, to salute you, and to congratulate you. We hope that this time that we have spent with you has allowed you to brainstorm new ideas for improving your customer service. We would like if you would take a few minutes to share with us in the chat one thing that you have learned from this webinar. Please, we love feedback. We encourage feedback. You are also helping to make us better. So we would love if you would take a minute to share one thing you've learned from this webinar. And please, please, please don't be strangers. Don't be shy. Please don't hesitate to reach out to either Ms. Jacqueline Rowan or myself. Many times we work together as a team. If you have any questions, any concerns, if we can serve you in any way in your business, please be in touch with us. On the screen, the slide up really just talks about not only do we do customer service training that is tailored to fit your business or organizational needs, but we also, between the two of us, offer some additional services. We are personal and professional development consultants. We offer training, we offer seminars, etc. We facilitate the Maxwell DISC personality assessments, and we are able to curate the type of training experience that you want for your customers. So whether it be half day, whether it be a whole day training, whether it's just a keynote presentation on request, you're having something and you're looking for a speaker or a facilitator to come in to help you with your event, that's something that we do, and it will be our absolute pleasure to serve you. So please get in touch with us. Can you be more specific in why you are transferring a call to someone else? Right, that's one question that has come up. And most definitely, I remember, Jacqueline, you had touched on that earlier on, and really helping people to understand that sometimes it's not that you're trying to transfer the call, but you might not be the best person to deal with that particular issue. Do you want to continue?
Yes, it simply means that probably the inquiry that the customer has or the situation that they are sharing with you that they need to be resolved, you are not the appropriate person to handle it. You do not have enough knowledge about the circumstances, and you want to bring somebody who would not only maybe your manager or someone who can not only solve the situation, but as we said, probably offer compensation or something. So you're trying to transfer the person to that person who can best deal with that situation. That might be one of the reasons, and probably more than likely that is the reason that you're being transferred. Or in that particular department, you don't handle exactly what they're asking about. So then you transfer them to someone who can help them. Transfer to me simply means, and I hope in most cases, that you're trying to get the best help possible for your client or your customer. If you're transferring just for no reason because you don't want to deal with it, then that's definitely bad customer service. But we're hoping that you're transferring so that the client's needs can be met.
Thank you. And my bad, I probably misrepresented. Ms. Williams was really just saying that that was also one of the things that she picked up from this webinar presentation.
Okay.
But it did give us an excellent opportunity to, again, drill down on the point about that particular issue. So we are really happy that that is something that you're taking away from this webinar. Any other learnings, anything else that folks took from the presentation, or any other questions we might be able to answer for you? And Ms. Phillip, also your guidance as to if there's anything else that you picked up. I just happen to be looking on my phone in these last minutes.
We had another comment actually stating to talk in a positive way when solving a problem. So that was their takeaway.
Right.
One more person stating that the one thing they receive is providing a positive attitude and appearing genuine in giving your response to your clients.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Very important.
Yeah.
Empathy. Just remember that you have been a client or customer at some point in time, and how you felt when you were dealt with positively versus in a negative manner. So It's very important. Empathy is important.
Yeah, and I think bottom line, the client or customers just want us as business people and as business owners, as service providers, to know, hey, I see you, I hear you, I am being empathetic, as Jacqueline said, and I genuinely want to help you to solve the concern that you have. Right. Many times what the customer gets on the other end is that they get very dismissive responses. People dismiss their complaints or their concerns, and then it escalates. You can prevent, and I will give you $1 million tip. One of the best things you can do in customer service always is to do this. Plain and simple.
Smile.
Smile, and
Smile.
even when you're on the phone taking customer service concerns. Yeah. One of the things that I have trained my staff in other places is to also just answer the phone with a smile. Yep. A smile translates over the airwaves. It translates, and people hear when you are really genuinely welcoming, smiling, not to you just tone it down. You tone it down.
Right. Energy.
To breathe, take a breath, calm yourself before you engage with the customer. So you take deep breaths, hand on your heart, on your stomach, breathe deeply. And then you say, hello, how may I help you? How can we make this right for you? And it's about energy, it's about energy management, it's about tonality, and it's about all of that. That was extra, folks, okay? So
yeah, we have a comment from Facebook stating, smile. Just told my daughter to smile this morning. So that really.
Yes, and smiling, we could get really granular into why smiling is important. As a neurocoding person, it's really about that dopamine release that is done. It rewires the brain. It triggers a different response in your brain when you smile. And you say to the world, and to the person you're engaging with, it's okay, I got you, it's all right. Let's collectively together find a solution that is a win-win for both of us.
Excellent.
You basically answered the next comment. It was listening. You were just talking about how to be a good listener.
Yes.
Right, exactly. And you know what? Most people, their problem can be solved just by you listening to them, just by them being aware that you hear them. That you're not dismissed. You're not just some faceless person who's handing money to them or whatever. One of the worst things, and this is another extra, one of the worst things that can happen to you is you go into a business, you're shopping, you get to the cashier, let's say, and the cashier just reach out the hand for your reward, your card or whatever. They never look you in the eye. They never smile at you. They just take your card, and then they just dismiss you. That is huge. Let's not do that. Just look at someone and smile and listen to them And often that solves the problem. And as a matter of fact, that even stops many things from being a problem. So listening, smiling, all about energy, tonality, how you address the person can solve a whole heap of problems.
Yeah, and just know that we are all in the people business, and guess who we're dealing with? People. And helping people to feel welcome, to feel appreciated, it's part of our business. So drill that down. If you're business owners, you can't say that too many times to your staff and to your employers. We are in the people business of making life better for people in whatever way we can. And our business, just tell people, it's a people serving business.
All right.
All right,
So
thank you for that.
so much. All right.
Yeah, so
Anything
in
else,
closing-
Mrs. Phillips?
We don't have any comments, so I'll go ahead and start closing. So I just want to say
Thank
the VISBDC has so much more in store for USVI small businesses. You can visit our website at www.visbdc.org. Download the VISBDC app on your mobile device from the appropriate app store. Like and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Google My Business. And you can definitely look out for new uploads of our on-demand webinars. We want to thank you on behalf of the entire VISBDC network for your time, but let me just highlight a few upcoming webinars. So on the 27th, we have SCORE with content marketing, what to say and how to say it. On the 31st, we have what is the PTAC. On November 8th, we have USVI veterans, introduction to business planning. And you don't have to be a veteran to attend. However, we are highlighting our veteran focused businesses. On the 10th of November, we have the starting of our profit building series with client versus customer difference. On November 15th, we have FBA webinar Tuesday with government contracting 101. On November 17th, we have SCORE again with build and improve your social media presence for Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. On November 17th, we also have the profit building series with lost sales equals lost profits. And on the closing for November, on the 29th, we have SBA webinar Tuesday back again with surety bonds 101. So you can go ahead to our website, you can go within our app, go to our training portal, and you can register for these webinars. They're all free of charge. So once again, we want to thank you for attending and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you being here. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone.